I hope you got your shitting pants on.
Because you are about to shit your pants.
Here we go.
Welcome to the program. I am Michael Sargent, and you're listening to The Big Picture. Got a lot to get into today. First thing I'm going to touch on, and I want you to hear me out because this is kind of interesting from my perspective. This is a promo video that I did as I talked about running my ad. So for the next minute and 20 seconds, I'm going to bore the shit out of you. Okay? Who are you? Are you an athlete? Do you compete on the biggest stages in the world? Have you ever wondered if anybody understood the sacrifices you've made so that one day you might achieve one goal? I'm Michael Sargent, and I am a sports interest portrait photographer. And my goal is to capture the sacrifices, the hard work, the dedication that you've put forth to become the person you are today. It's one thing to photograph people. It's another to make others care about them by revealing who they are at the core of their soul. Thank you for watching. I'm Michael Sargent. Step in front of my lens, and together we'll show the world just who you are. All right, of course, you can't see the video that goes along with the words. But the words itself, they were quite impactful, I guess. That's the reviews I'm getting on it. One person even said that it felt like their heart stopped for a minute while they were listening to the next Morgan Freeman. Well, I am not going to, say that's the case, but they did say it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to start doing show notes and things, and I'll have a link put up to that video. It's on YouTube under my YouTube channel, which is a joke. I don't even do much, but either that or people can see it on my website. It's under the portfolio, and it's just a clip at the top. But in the show notes that I'll be putting up, I'll definitely have to get that. I'll have to get that done pretty quick. Okay, so what's going on, people? Anybody out there snapping anything interesting? Anybody doing anything cool, interesting? I've been awful busy, so for me, no, I haven't done too much of anything overly interesting lately, and largely in part it's just because I've been photographing and editing and doing everything that I need to do to run my business. I mentioned last week about me actually talking with Peter Hurley. That guy is awesome. He's an incredible individual, and I just really thoroughly enjoy speaking with him. I do have some news, and I bitched about this before. Clipping Path. Yeah, man, these people are ruthless. And now it's, there's other companies out there that are doing the exact same thing. So it's interesting. So here's something that I want to talk to everybody about. National Geographic, they're having this, they have assignments that they put up online. and they're doing my best photos of August 2018 right now, and I think it's cool, but there's been over 7,100 submissions to that sucker, and it's funny because there's like 1,091 discussion topics that go along with some of these photos. Some of them are really great. Some of them just absolutely suck, and I don't even know why they're there. But anyway, that's not for me to. I'm not the judge, so it doesn't matter. Excuse me. Corel. I don't know how many people use Corel as editing software. I use it a little bit. There's a couple of programs that Corel makes that I'm very, I use from time to time. Okay, not very often, but time to time. And one of the programs that I did have, I acquired through a software or a camera purchase, and it was Corel Painter. I've never used it. I don't know a heck of a lot about it, and it seems that I'm not going to know anything about it because the activation or serial numbers that they gave me for the software, they don't work. And I reached out to their customer support team, and they have responded in some way, shape, or form, but they wanted me to give them a screenshot of what the problem is. Now, I think that being as descriptive as what I can be and basically saying that the serial number provided does not activate the software is pretty fucking clear. I mean, is anybody confused about that? Yeah, you go to enter in the serial number, right? Everybody's done it. People have had Windows, other software programs, where you have to enter in a serial number to activate it. Well, that's exactly what I did with my Corel Painter program that doesn't work. And that was pretty much the response I got out of it. So I'm not really pissed, but I do have some reservations about it now because it frustrates the living shit out of me, especially when I'm getting upgrade offers to upgrade to Painter 2019, and I can save $90 for it. The program itself, for Corel 2019, they're asking, a normal price, full price is $429 for that sucker. And I'm getting it offered right now for $339. And I think that's, for me, it's I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a program, especially if I don't even know if the program works. Some more news here regarding photo editing software. On1 Photo Raw. They're coming out with a new version, 2019. It's an upgraded version. I do use On1. I love the software. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with it. It's a great editing tool. And if you want to know the truth, it actually is a good replacement for Lightroom. If you are kind of like me and basically say, well, I'm only going so far with Lightroom anymore because of the fact of the Creative Cloud subscription-based services. I'm not interested in it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be hooked into a monthly rate like Microsoft did with their Office. It's not going to happen. That's just me. Call me a jerk. Who cares? Computer news. Okay, this is something that I found pretty interesting. ZDNet. Okay, remember they used to have a TV show on all the time where they'd talk about computers and technology and all that shit. I wonder if that's still on. I don't think so, but who knows? They had a story out. It's cryptojacking. And the malware pretends to be a flash update. So be careful of that. There's a story out there about Microsoft Surface Pro, 6, computers, and they're pretty awesome. I bought a Surface Pro a couple of years ago for my daughter, who went to college, or is going to college, and that's a whole other story. We won't get into that, but the story that I read was about 6 alternatives that you can buy right now that are supposed to be pretty decent in regards to if you don't want to buy a Surface Pro or spend the money on a Surface Pro. There's other alternatives out there. One, well, let's just put it this way. The Surface Pro 6 for businesses from the Microsoft Store is $1,299. That's a pretty big buck. But Surface Pro for consumers is $899. All right. So the 6 that are being recommended, Asus Transformer Pro. I guess the price starts at $1,150, and that's for a Core i7 model with 16 gigs of RAM. That's pretty cool. Dell has a Latitude, and that price is about, that's a Core i5 model with 8 gigs of RAM, and that's $1,140. So I don't know if everybody knows about this, Core i5, i6, i7 stuff. For me, it's for what I do. I have to have a computer with accelerated graphics, and so I choose to go with a better processor, which is the i7. It's faster, more productive piece of equipment, and with all the photos that I edit, you gotta have something that can really kick some ass. One of the other units that I'm seeing that's an alternative to the Surface Pro is EV. They offer a 12.3 inch system, Bluetooth keyboard. It works while it's disconnected. Supposedly, there's a lot of long shipping delays for the people that have bought it, but it's said to be a better featured unit than the Surface Pro. And the unit is an i5 model with 8 gigabyte of RAM, and it starts at about $1,099. All right. HP has a Spectre X360 that is an i5 model. See, they all seem to be i5 models for the most part. Lenovo, okay, they have one that's excellent design, has excellent features, 150-degree hinge kickstand, an infrared camera for Windows, hello face recognition, Thunderbolt 3 USB ports. These things are backlit keyboard, stylus cover, but the battery life is not impressive, and the fan is a little noisy. Okay, but it is a Core i7 model with 16 gigs of RAM, and it starts at $1,150. That's not a bad deal. They also have a Yoga, Lenovo Yoga 920. That thing is a 13.9 inch. It's supposed to have some really cool features on it. It's an i7 model with 8 gigs of RAM. Starts at $1,399. Okay. So anyway, the last thing I'll touch on, and the only reason I'm even going to touch on it at all is because I just got a Samsung Note 9. They have a 12-inch Samsung Galaxy Book, and it beats the Surface on value by including a keyboard cover and a stylus in the box. But it says the Surface design is still, is much more refined. Okay, and it's a solid choice, and it feels better in the hand for tablet use, compared to older Surface Pro units. But without the keyboard folio, there's no way to prop it up. So it's got a great screen, strong performance, and long battery life, but it's a Core i5 model with 4 gigs of RAM, and it starts at $1,130. Okay. So anyway, that's all I got on that subject. And the only reason I'm even talking about it in this photography show is because I had a Surface, or did have a Surface, or do have a Surface, however way you want to put it. And I thought it was a pretty nice little system. Something else I want to talk about, there's several companies out there right now that are giving like tutorial places for photography. And if I can get everything together, I'll put this in the notes too. But for like $89, you're getting $2,500 in shooting and editing video tutorials. And, I believe, give me just a second here and I'll tell you right where I'm finding that. It's 5daydeal.com. Okay. And, pretty easy. You can go right to that website. There's big discounts on there right now. And they're having a complete photography bundle for 2018. And expert training tools and resources that you will need to take your photography to the next level. All right? So you can check that out. I'll try to put that up in show notes as well, which is going to be something new for me. So be patient with me if I fuck it up, okay? It's something I'm working on, all right? So everybody, who knows me knows that I kind of operate on the Zenfolio platform for my website, or that's where I host my website. And it's proven to be pretty good to me. But I recently, I've been talking about marketing and doing things like that a lot lately. And excuse me. But what happens is, while I'm doing all this, I'm putting all this stuff together, I'm thinking more and more along the lines of photography as a business, and, basically because I've had to. For me, it was always shooting, and I enjoyed just shooting. It was an outlet for me. But as things kind of developed, and this is more of a business type thing for me now, I keep talking about it's okay to set your prices and not worry about what other people think. I mean, your clients are going to be your clients. They're going to come to you, and you're gonna probably get some clients from some other photographers who they're kind of stale. They do the same thing over and over again. So what ends up happening is they want to try somebody else, and they do. And that's been happening a lot lately, and that's why I've been so busy. So, but just remember, people, the best piece of advice I can give anybody is don't sell yourself short as a photographer. Understand that there's photographers out there that are better than you, and you have to recognize that. And this goes back to my days as a kid. To become the best at something, you train with the best, and that's what I do. I am learning from the very best people in the type of photography that I want to learn, or be better at or do. And it's a continuous improvement thing. So just because you're constantly improving to keep yourself sharp, just like you want your photos sharp, you can very easily train with people or go to workshops, and I do that quite often. You want to be the very best that you can be, or at least I do. So that's why I do this, and I take time out at certain points of the year to do these things. Okay. So, you kind of notice I'm getting a little dry-throated, so I am going to probably have to take a little break here for just a couple of minutes. And, I'm figuring out what I'm going to play here for my little commercial break, while I go get a drink of water and deal with what I got to deal with. But, all right, listen, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Let's see what else we can get into today.
Mama said, but Mike, don't you want to be comfortable? I said, no, I don't want to be comfortable. I want to be scared out of my head and lost out of my mind. I want to fall in and out of love a few thousand times. I want to spend all of my money on my friends and I want to ride around on a horse and give people hugs. And when I come into town, they'll say, oh, there's Mike. There's something wrong with that boy. I swear he just ain't right. 'Cause I won't waste another day living somewhere
everybody. Welcome back to the Big Picture. There's a lot of things, that I'm trying to sort out here with this podcasting stuff. Just kind of to get better at it. And, I know it sounds like, why is he even saying this right now? Well, it's just, I'm straight up forward and honest about things. Okay? I played you my little ad, earlier that, seems to be doing quite well for itself. And like I said, there's some interest. But let me break the ad down, or actually the video down for you a little bit so it's kind of understood. I always hate talking about photographers and how they like to use, well, I'm a passionate photographer, and it's always such a very, well, let's put it this way. I hate that. I hate that as much as I hate jelly donuts.
A jelly donut?
Yeah, I don't care for that stuff. With that being said, okay, I would like to put it out there that for me, photography has been something that I have been involved with since I was 9 years old. And I've had some pretty incredible moments over the years, just with meeting people, very important people. And for a long time, because of family obligations and things like that, there was some boats that were missed. And I have no regrets for that. I do know this much. When I put that video out, I did it with the intent of creating it with some heart and soul. And for me, photography is not just it's not just a money-making thing. There's a lot to it. I'm deeply rooted with it, and I enjoy doing it, and I always like to see the expressions on people's faces when they see what I'm able to create. And, I kind of found my niche, and I will say it right here first. The sports interests genre of photography, it is my genre of photography. I created it. I'm the one that's named it. I'm the one that's coined it. I actually have it copyrighted, as crazy as that may sound. But my whole intent here when I got involved in this was, I know what it's like to give up a lot, and sometimes never achieve the goal. But I also know what it's like to sacrifice so much and win. So I understand both sides of this. And when I spoke of this in my video about wondering if anybody really understood what an athlete goes through, how much work, the blood, sweat, tears, forcing themselves to do something that they don't want to do, but they do it anyway so they can become better, to achieve goals. Well, when you look deep into an athlete's eyes, you see that. And that's kind of what I get, and that's why sometimes athletes get cocky. Like, you see people like, well, think about it, Terrell Owens. He was great. You know why he was great? Because he did the work. A lot of people misunderstand somebody like Odell Beckham Jr. All right, cocky, troublemaker. That's what people look at him as. I look at him as a guy who's done the work, and he's created his own brand just in the player that he is. makes incredible catches. He's an incredible player, incredible athlete. So I get that, and that's what I look to bring out, in the athlete. There's the public side, and then there's the not so public side. That's where all that came from. So I've had a lot of goals as a photographer, and I've achieved them. Athletes, they achieve their goals through hard work, practice, dedication, lifestyle choices. That's what it's about, people. Connecting with that subject. You may not have common ground. You may not have anything in common with this person at all. But when you have a connection, they've sacrificed. There's a connection right there. I've sacrificed. They've sacrificed. All to achieve a goal. It's a mutual understanding. And at the end of the day, me as a photographer, when I see that, when I can bring that out of them, which I do, and make no mistake about it, I can do that. We get that image. It's nothing but impact. That's why I refer to it as dramatic sports portraits. It's not so much about the lighting as it is about the person and the way that they portray themselves in front of the camera. Of course, the lighting helps capture that, but it's about the athlete. All right, I think we're going to be close to time here on the big picture this week. Trust me, people, I'm trying to put together a quality show and give you guys something, a little extra, a little meaningful. Email in if you have questions. Be happy to answer them. Anybody wants to, be a guest on the show, want to talk photography, shoot us an email. It's bigpicture@mrsargent.com. You can also just go to the website and fill out the contact form at www.msargentphoto.com. Okay? All right. That's about all I've really got for this week. And I know it's not the great show, but, and I keep saying that. But, get in here. Let's have some fun. All right? I'm looking forward to creating some great content, and with any kind of luck, we'll get some guests in here and we'll start talking chops. Okay? All right. Y'all take care.
Like the turn of the whip, I snap attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Singing like a shovel, rhyme double on a heavenly level. Bang the bass, turn up the treble. Radical mind, day and night, all the time. 714, wise, divine, maniac, brainiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James. Quality, I possess, some say I'm fresh, where my voice goes through the mesh of the microphone that I am holding. Copywritten lyrics so they can't be stolen if they are not. Don't need the police to try to save them, your voice will sing. So peace, stay off my back, or I will attack, and you don't want that.
You sexy motherfucker.